All right, yes, without wasting of time, in this video, I would like you to focus on what we are going to be learning, because this is going to help you in order to know how to do the extended dreadlocks. And if I talk about the extended dreadlocks, then I mean the temporary dreadlocks. So now in this video, I'm just going to help you to make sure that I show you how to arrange these dreadlocks and they can look as neat as possible. So we have been doing these dreadlocks, so I know most of you guys know how to do it, but this time around let's try to see let's try to know how they are found, like the foundation of those extended dreadlocks. So number one, in this tutorial we are going to be having like let's say this is going to be like part one, because there are a lot of things that you need to know about the extended dreads that I'm going to be explaining in this video, so that if we go even on the part two, we shall watch everything. So as we are doing, this is the first line, and the first line is always soft. You understand? The hair is always soft here. So what you do, you use this cross locking, and the cross locking, that's when you lock from side and on top. Are you seeing like what I'm doing? So you do the cross locking is the side, and then you do it on top. That is the cross locking. We do the cross locking just because when the hair is too soft, like we do it when the hair is too soft, like those ones who have a straight lax hair, they can always use the cross locking. So those ones who have been asking me, for them, when they try to lock something, it doesn't be firm when they lock it. So here is, you just have to get to learn this. And now another thing in this video, we need to know how we're supposed to arrange our dreadlocks, because also that is very, very important, how to arrange our dreadlocks. So after doing that first line, we are going to do another one, and you can see it is in the line of the ears. Yes, then we get our gel, the gel, no matter gel you have, because now there's those people who are asking me that if they don't have the molding gel, what they can use. You can even use the shine and jam gel. It's also very, very nice. So now when we are rolling this, please, you should note this, we roll it going down. You understand? You roll it when it's going down. So now here, when you try to look at it, this is a bit thicker than the first line. This line is a bit thicker than the first line. So this one, we are going to be using the V locking. I want you to understand these two methods, the cross locking and the V locking. So the V locking is when the hair is thick. The hair is thick, as you can see this one. But now as I'm continuing, remember, like on these side ones, like the one that on the side, this one, that one is a bit it's a bit soft. So for that one, I have to use the cross locking as the way you have seen. So it means we have to make sure that we follow those methods of the cross locking and the V locking to achieve all this. And most of the comments that I'll be having is that you guys who have the natural dreadlocks, like you feel they're looking very bad, but it all comes when the foundation was bad. Like when you're doing like these natural dreadlocks, others, they start with a sponge dread, they continue like that. But now if you have your hair like this one and you'd want to do the natural dreadlocks, what you can do is to make sure that you arrange them very nicely like this, the way I'm showing you how to arrange this. So when I reach on the next step, this is where it is very tricky to some of you guys that you make your lines. The first line and the second line are supposed are all supposed to be looking straight like from your face. So this one we just do it because now we're imagining that someone is going to hold a puff, so the locking are supposed to be looking in front, and still here we are still using the V locking. So now when you reach on the third line for it, you're supposed to make it look down. You understand? You're supposed to make it look down. And now looking down, we know that the hair in the middle here, it is a bit very it is a bit hard. No, it's a bit thick. So it means if we are going to lock it, we just have to make sure that we lock it like this. We lock we lock it in a V locking since it is thick. So those two methods are very important, and the more you do this, you will start feeling it in your hands. You will start feeling it, and you'll be like, now if you just look at the hair the way it looks, and you can tell that this is going to be I can use the V locking or the cross locking. So it's according to the hair texture. Yes, what I've done there, the other side is the same thing I'm doing this side. So if you try to look at my lines, I'm still doing the same lines, like they're all equal. And now we are going to be seeing it on the fourth line, so that you can understand this that I'm trying to show you, the one that what I'm trying to tell you to do. So now let's go to the fourth line, and we get our molding gel. Our fourth line, still we are going to make sure that we line it this way. And if you try to look in front it's a bit big, but when it comes to behind, it's equal. Yes, in front I can say that what you have got there is what you're supposed to lock. No, so I'm going to be showing you the tricks how you're supposed to line them, and you make sure that they are really well arranged. So after making the lines here in front, what you're going to do, you're going to try to sketch something here and see how many can come out. So sometimes we always make an let's leave that. We'll continue this because that one is going to it will make it right. So what I do, I come here in front and I remove the first line this way. This is too big to be to get one thing, so what I do, I separate it. Let me try to make sure that it is because that's also, it's very important. So when you're done with that, you just have to make sure you make a line here like that, and this one the same thing like that. So when it come to the second line, still you can remove it, and also you do it once, and the other one the second. So that's how you just have to keep on doing. So now when you reach here, we are going to like the remaining hair, we just have to cut like we must first make a sketch in front. You know why I always focus in front? Because it's where people see. So you just have to make sure that your front is very perfect. You can fade it here in the middle, but when your front is perfect, no one is going to blame you. So I try to make my sketches here. Yes, I see like they're going to come out like 4 lines are the one that are going to come out, and this is what I'm trying to do, because if there are 4 lines, that is going to be very fine for us, so that we can do it right. So this is the way it looks, and then I'm trying to put the molding gel on those lines. So we start the locking like that. Yes, and I try to explain to you, when it comes to the locking, you just have to roll it going behind, and then you lock it once. Yes, you lock it once. That one comes when the hair is thick. And yes, another thing, it comes to these crochet hook, the crochet hooks. It's also very, very important. Like when the hook is smaller, it also might not work with some other hair. So you just need to balance like your hooks. Let's say it's supposed to be number 4, numbers 6, number 8, number 10, like that. And those ones with number 2, number 0. So the more the number, the smaller the hook becomes. So this time around I'm using number 4, that's why it is somehow like this. But even those ones who can still use like number number 3, number 2, yes, but those ones they're good with thick hair, very thick hair. But this one is thick, though it's a bit soft. So the number 4, it is very fine for me, because the number 4 is neutral. It is neutral, so there's no need to fear about anything about number 4, because number 4 you can always unlock these thick hair. So when you're done with that, you can see now here my lines are looking behind, and now we're going to our last line. So our last line, what we have to do, please guys, you need to listen to this. Our last line, what we have to do mostly is not overspace it. We just need to pack it, but still not overpack it. So here, what you have to do, you're going to make sure that the lines you're doing are going to be strength enough to hold that extension for how long that person is going to stay with the dreads. Because these people, sometimes they want their dreads for like 2 years or even like 1 year. So now if you dread it on something that is soft, like the hair that is very soft, yes, trust me, it might break it. Yes, it might break it. So what you should do, you always have to make sure that the hair that you're cutting is equal with the extension that you're going to add on, so that these things are not heavy and they're not too space on someone's head. So the front hair we pack it this way. You have to make sure that you pack it, so that sometimes, like, if you don't, yes, it may come out, it may not come out nicely. Someone will have to know that you did not pack it. So this is how they look, and you should always try to make sure that you do sketches before, so that you can tell the lines if like how many lines are remaining. Yes, just like that, and until you achieve all that. Yes, so when we are done with this, please remember we have the part 2, and now we are going to hold it. Now this is our dummy, so I'm going to see you in the dreadlocks extended temporary journey in the part 2. Bye bye, see you in the part 2 when we are learning how to add the extension. Love you.